your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation. Liberia, the flag of Liberia is flying. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation. Liberia, the red on the flag is forever. The white on the flag is for purity. The star is for republic. The blue is for black people. We know Liberia is home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11% of people we are known as First Republic. The Lone Star shining evermore. Liberia is flying on the sun. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation. The people who are told we humble themselves and seek my bed. Our eyes and heal their nation. Liberia will rise again. Nation will come to your rising. I prophesy, kingdom will come to your life. Together, let's keep your peace. What's in unity, we will build our nation. Arise, Liberia, arise. Arise, they take your place.
Oh yes, the flag of Liberia is crying. It's crying for justice. It is crying for transparency in the country. It is crying for the rule of law. This is Liberia. This is Voice of Liberia. 104.1 in Monrovia. .7 in Grand Bassa County. Buchanan is all ears. 90.7 in Bon County. Bon County has tuned in already. 89.7 in Maggie County. Maggie County is out already. 96.7 in Vanjamalofa County. In Salaye, in Konya, in Zozo, in Sewadamain, in Foya, where my uncles are from. And starting the show with the man O.P. O'Neill Johnson. So many things to talk about this afternoon, but you will have some time to talk your own. Our guest on the flip side of 3 o'clock is a political reverend. The Reverend David Cameron, a former presidential candidate, political leader of the Democratic People's Party of Liberia, will be our guest talking politics as always as he comes. According to political revenue, will be here at 3 o'clock. One of the issues trending this day, the Liberia Revenue Authority announces it exceeded its 2024 revenue target. Double Dollar says $640 million in US dollar was realized in 2024. His eyes are on the ball for 2025. What a good news for our revenue intake in the country. Kudos to the guys at the ARA and about Double Dollar. And Double Dollar goes to say additional $10 million is being reconciled. And after the reconciliation of the funds, they are hopeful that the revenue generation will be about 700 million. The first time in the history of our country. That's why he told journalists yesterday. ARA on the move. War Crimes Court of Liberia. Amidst the daunting challenges facing the War Crimes Court, in the establishment of war crimes in Liberia, the court receives an infinitesimal $380,000. A drop in the ocean. The head of the court said that could just be used for 1 month. Is the Liberian government willing to put more money in the War Crimes Court establishment?
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Who are they waiting for? The international partners? War Crimes will get $380,000 amidst the daunting challenges facing it. As the Liberian government itself undermines the War Crimes Court by appointing war criminals. Louis Brown has been named. He's been confirmed by the Senate to go to the USA as ambassador. But he's named in the TRC report as one of the worst, the most notorious criminals in Liberia when it comes to the economic of our country. The economy of our country. You know, he's serving the Taylor government, National Security Advisor, Foreign Minister, and all of those. So the TRC named him as one of the worst perpetrators. Why did Joseph Newman Boakai appoint him? And if so, why did the president listen to international pressure to remove the man who was there before Jonathan Massacre, who was charged for having a double role? All the money, your own authority. We shall be talking about that. Prince Yelugbe Johnson remains around in Nima County amidst serious worker. Traditional dances have been displayed. This Samuel Koga photo taken over the entire internet. Video about him dancing, the world dancing Nimba. All roads lead to Nima County. If all goes well, I will go via phone to Nima County and speak to Kevin DJ Matari, one of the young men who this man called Prince Johnson made. Supreme Court of Liberia cites both parties in the Low House saga to appear before it on 17 January with the legal teams for hearing into the Bill of Information a petition for declaratory judgment. Filed by the man called Fonati Kofa. These are the menus. We shall talk about that. Before going to our live Facebook feed, let me go to George as he tells us who are all winning today. What are they? What is the code for the cash giveaway?
Yes, Jala, thank you. I'm glad to be here this afternoon. I've been very basic the beginning of the week, and that's why I was actually unable to be with you. But it's good that I'm here. So while we will be having a discussion, we'll be giving out 20,000 Liberian dollars today, and the code is *799 *90 hash *799 *90 hash. So while we'll be having the discussion, continue to play as many times you can play, and as we move on, I will be calling our winners and giving you out 20,000 Liberian dollars. *799 *90 hash is the code to play.
All right, so let's try to go through our main studio now.
with original.
Our main computer to bring you the guys who have joined us already. All of those who have promised yesterday to send a video to, I couldn't reach out to you because the video was still having some issues to be loaded to my phone, but I have it. I will still send it today. The video that talked about the head of security at the Liberian Senate, I will send it to you. Welcome Opie Oni Johnson, Washington Dole Community, Jala M. Kamara Senior, Five-time resident he watches us from, Salia M. Nye, Washington closer from Capital Bypass, the Ati Toba Washington Citizen Project, Ominga Market, Muyan Sharif. Good afternoon, Brother Jala. I'm following you from district number 9, Sinka, this afternoon from Matari. Jala-based government headed by Mr. Walker. We end with the excuses mission. Government, their excuses mission, rather. Otaka Kao. Watching from Maryland, USA is Otaka Kahu. Say good afternoon, Jala Griffin. I'm watching. Solomon Kowibin. Oro Divanta he represents. Roosevelt Tia Jr. representing Logan Town. David Givler. Good afternoon. What's a Liberian area? Women in Liberian and local citizens. I'm seated and listening to you from Manjua Market. Fatu Sherry, welcome. Thank you for the good work she says. Welcome, Fatu Sherry. Alfonso Kwega Mukundi, watching from Nairobi, Kenya. Oh yes, I was in Nairobi. I love my time being there. At school there. I was around the Safari Park area on Tika Road. Apaha, Owika, Mukundi. Sata Emila, welcome.
I'm feeling the vibe with original.
Asata Miller said, good afternoon, Mr. Griffey. I'm watching live from Redland Market. To be precise, yes. Good to be on the show. Martin Lishman. Good afternoon. Watching from his working place. Paola James, good morning, Fossil Library family watching from the USA. Gray Joe Gray, watching from 12th Street, Sinka. Robbie Mba, watching from Bujo Allen Monrovia. Winston Logan, watching from Oro. Winston, how you do? It's 25 Toby. David E. Harris, watching from Monrovia. Otto, watching from Liberia. Winston Logan says, watching us from somewhere. Bialo Barry, watching from Central Monrovia. He said, good afternoon. The grandson of a great warrior. Thank you for what you continue to do for our country. Basically, land of liberty shall all be ours. Shall all be ours. David Gibler, thank you for the brilliant job, Chief. I follow you from the Manjua Market Waterside. So, we have to come. We'll come back and read your comments. Just keep the comments coming. It is on Voice of Liberia. My name is Jala Grayfield. I better say, call me the nation's MDJ. Remember Jala Grayfield, chapter 1, verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk, and never shall we fight. I'm to the Betty Bestman and the brother Levi Bestman and his beautiful wife from the States are joining me from Bangapong County, where they are enjoying the topic being discussed and the music being played in the background. Let me say welcome to you, Joseph Kalor, watching from Grand Jire County, Zulu Whiskey. Let me bring you to speed, and I won't take more time on these topics because my guest comes at 3 o'clock. I was watching out and listening to the radio, going through the press conference hosted by the ARA boss, Mr. Jala. And I realized that the ARA has made some significant jump in terms of collecting lawful revenue. The ARA says it has raised $690 million. It has exceeded its target. Maybe the ARA said we're going to get about 400 million. I'm just saying. So it's 400 million. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's why they targeted. Mm-hmm. But now they are boasting of 600 million in excess. And they talk about $10 million being reconciled. And if the 10 million is reconciled, they will have 700 million as a total revenue intake for 2024. Okay. For me, I think it's a good news for Liberia. But the utilization of what has been raised to be used for the needed purpose is what matters. I'm told by Jala that this is the first time that the LRA has raised such money. And I must say kudos to all Liberians who are taxpayers, including myself. Because I register my vehicle, I register other materials, I pay revenue to the government. Taxes. So if every well-meaning Liberian will not run away from taxpayer, from paying taxes rather, or tax collectors, because many of you will go, when you see the tax collector come in, lock the store and go by a business, 2-3 days you don't come there until you get tired. They can come back again, you go back to your store. And if every well-meaning Liberian will just take that time and then pay their taxes to the government of Liberia, it will do much more for us. I also think that the rural rehabilitation being done by the government under the auspices of Lavia Giddens and Prince Tama and the others at Apollo Ministry is as a result of the little taxes they collect. Now you see, before Voice of Liberia, there were a lot of holes around here. These holes have been patched. Around the OL ministry, yes. Along the route. There are a lot of roads that have been now being worked on. But Jala, promised, let me just end on this one. Yeah, as promised by the Ministry of Public Works. On George, we are similar thing happen. We are told constantly, and every other time, assignment where the revenue that was being realized for Liberians, where they want to be used to do this concrete pavement in Painesville and other places. So I must say kudos and thank you to Double Jala and the team for the good work. And this one can help with our budget formulation. You know, our budget is a cash-based budget. Money is not sitting somewhere that you just go and take. It is being funded through taxpayers and our international partners. George coming. And yes, George is here doing a cash giveaway, but I will give him the time to be popping in one time or other. Yeah, sure. He will be exclusively on Friday to do his show. But you know, I was molded the same way George has been molded today. So I'd like him to participate. George, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Jala, like you said, the issue of the utilization of the revenues, I think is very key. And Liberians, especially journalists, will have to continue to follow on the revenues generated. Mind you, this is Liberia. Leaders come to leadership with the mindset that it is our time. So you observe that a lot of our leaders, when they ascend to the positions, instead doing what is needed, they don't want to do, but rather prioritize their personal issues and all of those. And so we want to again appreciate the government for the generation of the revenue, but again the utilization. We hope and pray that this will continue, and we also hope and pray that the revenues being generated will be used for the purpose intended, because there where the government stands to benefit if it is utilized. But if it is not utilized properly, then Liberians will continue to complain, and there will always be challenges in all of the sectors in Liberia.
Thank you, George. So Again, let me say kudos to the LRA, and anything you do that worth praises, we will praise you for that. If you did things that are condemnable, we'll condemn you for them. And that's how we go, on we go. Let me welcome Mr. David Givler. Yes, I read your comment. Joseph Collar, I read your comment. Ambassador Joseph Bakole Morris, watching you from Banga City, Bon County. JP, I don't know what name you put there. I don't know. I'm not saying nothing. Good afternoon. My name is James P. Page, watching from AB Tower Road. My Page, you wear ninja channel, man. Nina Queer, good afternoon. Good morning, guys. At my end, North Dakota, is Nina Queer. My father's son, Coco Smith, watching you live for Looking Town, Bushel Island. While Jackson Tuopi, good afternoon. Welcome back. And on the radio, please extend to Grand Crew County with your radio voice of Liberia. Jackson Tonwini Toby. Jackson, yes, we are thinking about that. Yeah, we can be assured. Abraham Dale, Jala, when you get your own radio station, you just pass it around. Okay. I'm waiting for the can bring my own here. There, government give me frequency now. I want a frequency I want. They will not give it to me. They will not give it. Breakable Power, good afternoon. Voice of Liberia, welcome. So let's move on. You know, I was like reading the papers again and listening to the radio. We've come to realize that the Liberian government has provided $380,000 US to the War Crimes Court in Liberia. Initially, the head of the War Crimes Court, Professor Dr. Jala Alim Babu, has complained that fundings were not made available to the institution, and at some point media reports where they are being housed in a place where they were being about to be thrown out by the landlord. So in the face of that, the government provided a little amount of $380,000. We're getting information from the Front Page Africa and other newspaper that Dr. Jala is saying this money given to them can only cover at least a month administratively, meaning paying salaries, maybe rental fees and SYC and SYC. Now the question is, what are we waiting for to put more money in a war crimes court establishment? Are we waiting for our international partners to put pressure on the government of Liberia to establish a court? Because I know once you have these intentions to bring up some development that has to do with human rights, you have to be the first to put your money where your mouth is.
International community will have to see the seriousness.
Yes. So your government needs to put some money in the budget for the court or extra funding from somewhere. That'll be very much minimum to establish a court. And once your international partners see that, they will come in significantly.
And I was saying somewhere of recent, and somebody said to me, because of the death of Prince Johnson, the issue of the war crime code, it won't be no longer implemented because the government target, according to that individual, the target of the government was to get the late Prince Johnson, being pressure, and all of that. And the president said to me, that entire thing of war crimes code was to get a Prince Johnson. But
that was a flawed analysis. Yeah.
But
because Prince Johnson was not the only war criminal here. We had a lot of them, some of them in the legislature. So the establishment of the war crimes code is to bring people to their knees and answer to the atrocities they committed here. You have people like General Bonneke. He confessed here on camera for brutally killing a family of 3. Their only son, he butchered. He came to apologize. He says he's a reverend. But sadly, his name is being brought into question by people that he worked for the government of Liberia through the NLC. He has turned to a torture hero in the cell. The guy with the cut Tom's talk about that. We still have people like George Bowley here. We have the senator from Grand Jira County, Thomas Nimena, yeah, they are here. So the analysis from that person, I can say, is a flawed analysis because what happened here is that
Go ahead, sir.
we all have worked around this, and I thought that we can have more time to talk about the war crimes. So because our people were mean, they were killed in a number, they were massacred in a displaced camp whatsoever they were by heads of warring factions and their people. Today, Chancellor is in The Hague. He has been served justice. So the others who committed these crimes, they also need to face justice. Now, if the international community see our seriousness by putting more money into the budget for the establishment of a war crimes court, we will be getting somewhere. Then our international partners will come and get in. I don't see why, if you are very serious in this establishment of the war crimes court, I didn't see the need for Ambassador President Dr. Joseph Newman Boakai to have appointed one of those who committed economic crimes in this country, like Louis Brown.
It tells you probably the government don't have interest in even establishing.
Then why were they coerced? Why were they coerced to have brought up this idea or to even sign it or sign a resolution to the Liberian Senate and the entire legislature? Why did they do that? And I think the government still has the political will to do what it's doing about the War Crimes Code. But it's just that the government has undermined the War Crimes Code itself. You see a man like Louis Brown.
People appointed in government.
Yeah. You have a Louis Brown who was named in a TRC report as one of the worst perpetrators in terms of economic crimes in this country. Mm-hmm. You are appointing this man to to America to go as ambassador. These are the same people who think that justice should be done to us.
That alone undermines
so if we can't serve ourselves justice, do we expect the international community to come and serve us justice, especially America that believes in the rule of law and humanity?
Not possible.
So you are sending Louis Brown to America, knowing fully well that he is a war criminal economically. Mm-hmm. You are sending this man whose record is tainted with bad economic revelation in his file. Then you're telling us you're serious for fighting war crimes? I don't think so. The government has undermined itself. So I didn't see why, in the first place, that Jonathan Massaquoi, who was appointed as a war crimes court head in Liberia, was removed based on international pressure that he was double dipping. He had served as a legal counsel for some people who committed war crimes. So he was appointed. People from the civil society side say, no, the man is not qualified to be there because he represented the legal interests of some of the war perpetrators. So Mr. Boakai now heeded to international pressure, and Jonathan Massaquoi was removed from the place, and Councillor Jala was named. I'm not saying that Councillor Jala's appointment is wrong. He's one of the best we have in this country. So I'm just trying to support my own comment I made earlier. If you are sending Louis Brown to America to be ambassador to the UN whatsoever, who has a tainted record of criminality in this country, then why did he remove Jonathan Massaquoi? So it tells you the government itself is undermining the establishment of a war crimes court. Let me hear you.
Because the fact is, Jala, once the government spoke about the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court earlier, the first thing is, they should not only be about people in opposition. That's one thing I feared the government, when they took over, that's what they started to do. They were only looking at people that were in opposition. And once you have such a mind that we're coming to establish this War and Economic Crimes Court, and the establishment of this court will only be, basically about people that are in opposition or people that were in, the past government, then we'll have some problems. But the thing is, those that, whether you support John Brown, you support Peter Paul, I think this issue of this War and Economic Crimes Court to be able to look at everyone. And the greatest mistake the president made was to appoint this fellow you spoke about. And I think the president still have time in the favor. He needs to pump more money in the War and Economic Crimes Court establishment to ensure that this court is established. Whether Whether it can be senator, it can be president, it can be whoever. Once they were involved or they've been caught into war or economic crimes code, they should be able to face justice. People can just get involved into the kind of thing and they go scot-free. I think the establishment of this code is important, and the government needs to prioritize this establishment because, mind you, they promised that. President Baka promised that upon his election, the issue of this war and economic crimes code were going to be established, and he said he was going to ensure that those that are involved or that were involved into the war or involved into economic crimes code were going to face justice. So the Liberian people are looking onto the president. They're looking onto him to ensure that it is established.
Thank you. And then we all look up to the government. For me, I always said, and I will say, I don't believe in restorative justice. I believe in retributive justice. Restorative justice is the one that heals. Okay. That when you do me wrong, I come, we sit on the Palawa Hall, we talk about it, we finish it. No. I believe in retributive justice when it comes to war crimes. All of those who committed political sins against our country and against us as Liberians, they must face the full weight of the law. Before the demise of Prince Johnson, I heard you one time talking to some journalists in Nimba and telling the people, say, oh, I want you to work with the combatants in Nimba who fought the war. When they catch me, their intent is to catch me. But they're coming for you too. But the war crimes is not coming for the players. It is coming for the catfish. It is coming for the kutos. Those big fishes that supported the war in this country. The charge has been served already. Who knows when the time comes, Madam Sally will have to give account of our contribution to the MPFL. When they were coming to Liberia, she gave $15,000. They were the ones who organized the Liberia United for Constitutional Democracy in America with the late Harry Greaves. The late Marcus Zahn was in America at the time as one of the researchers. There are a lot of them who committed those crimes. They formed, and that was the political arm of the MPFL. That came out to be the MPFL. Yes, it was a political arm, but they carved that name, the National Patriotic Front of Liberia in America. Okay. The late Harry Nguyen, he was the former head of the LTA Liberia. They all sat in America and brought this candidate on us here. So when the time comes, Ellen Johnson Sally, who gave $15,000 to the war criminal like not Prince Johnson, but Charles Taylor, she will have to answer question about law. One of the reasons why Madam Sally did not put trust and strength in the establishment of a war crimes code is because she was named in the court. She was named in the TRC report, rather. She was named. And at some point, she has to go to court to clear her name to make her run for the second term as president. Because the TRC recommendation was that those who committed these crimes in the country cannot hold certain positions. So Madam Sally, to go back, she has to go and undo certain things to make her qualify to be a candidate on the ballot. Let me welcome Mr. Sober George and his darling wife, Ophelia Sampson George. Ophelia, happy belated birthday to you. Mr. Otello Frank, how are you doing? And you and your family there in Painesville. Wallet Nyenga, good afternoon to you, my sister. Wallet, welcome to the show. Harriet Lila Brisbane has joined us here on the live feed. Let me say welcome to you, Breakable Power. Good afternoon to you, Melvin Destiny Harvest Power. Welcome. Apron Y Gay is here as well. Let me go further down. Roberts is watching from Western Cluster, he says. Henrik N. Danuwali is watching from Grand Bassa County. He said, good afternoon, my likable journalist from the days of Love FM. I'm following you from Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County. Jerry Puka. Good afternoon, Voice of Liberia, watching you from North Dakota, USA. Thank you. Patrick Esowa, my respect. I hope we can hook up after the show today, but I hope we'll have a show tomorrow to talk about mental health issues tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So just be on the standby. But we'll have to see today, Patrick. OG Joe Harvey is watching from Local Town Market in my technical shop. Thanks for the show, he says. Emmanuel Ellis Jr., Watching from somewhere in Buchanan City, welcome. Saturday, Zongwe Woodaware, welcome. Watching from Atlanta, Georgia, the USA. Let's delve into this one quickly. You know, the remains of Prince Johnson have arrived in Nima County. Ruben SW took my welcome. And this one will just be impassive because we have to take some calls.
Calling someone from Nima.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to this young man called TJ Matadi, who is a handmaid of Prince Johnson. But the remains have arrived in Nimba. There were a lot of celebration, people mooning, people celebrating the dead. And I saw Samuel Koga in his war regalia, displaying the traditional war dance that has taken over Facebook already. And the remains will be buried, I'm told, on the 18th. They will display his body in Ganta, going to Saclay, going to Ban and Dadasanakoli. Those are the areas they will parade his body for him to be given a lot of respect. Now, Prince is dead and gone, but his legacy lives on. Whatever he did wrong, he did whatever he did. I think it is God who judges people. I'm not one of those who rejoice when someone dies. Even if that person is an enemy, I can't be the one rejoicing. And that's what many Liberians do here. When somebody dies, they are all rejoicing because the person was an enemy in XYZ. So Prince Johnson is dead and gone. Let me hear you on this one quickly.
We just want to extend our deepest condolences to the people of Nimba and the Johnson family for the loss of their father or son or whoever. But again, it has happened. That's the will of God. You can ask him as to why it happened. He knows the reason why this have to happen, and so we're calling on the people of the country. I mean, let's sympathize with the family. I mean, it has happened, and nothing to be done about it. And so all we can say is that our deepest condolences to the family.
Thank you. So let me just conclude with this one. The Supreme Court, just for information purpose, the Supreme Court of Liberia has cited, you can just go and get our guest.
Okay, all right.
Has cited the both parties in the lower house saga to appear before it on the 17th of January 2025 to hear the legal argument that the Funadi Kofa block filed on the petition for declaratory judgment some times ago. So meaning that the both parties, even though the lawmakers are coming together, the majority has joined the minority, or the minority has joined the majority, they are all coming together now in one house. But once you file a petition with the court on declaratory judgment, the court will either hear it or not hear it. So the fact that they have concluded to hear this case, it means that Funadi Kofa, Nangbekun, from both minority and majority, the lawyers will have to come in and they will sit in the Supreme Court chambers and hear this matter. Whatsoever the Supreme Court brings, whether it is the final, they will know it is final. Let me welcome the political Reverend David Cameron, who is my guest here this afternoon. We'll go to him very shortly. But I will take some calls, at least for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and we'll come to the political Reverend, one-time political leader of the Democratic People's Party of Liberia. He's my guest, political Reverend. We'll talk politics. Let me welcome Lavecho Woloti Wayne from Arizona, the USA. Alhaji Dawon. Welcome, my brother. How are you doing this afternoon? From New Georgia community, Alhaji Dawon. Let me welcome again Betty Bestman and her brother, Mr. Levi Bestman. And Levi Bestman's wife is visiting Liberia after some times in the USA. And I'm told they're having some very good time in Banga City, Pong County. Let me activate the phone lines for you now. I'm trying to call Kevin DJ Mata.
Quickly before you open the line, let me just announce the call one more.
Please do.
Right after the guest, when I come back, I will do at least a job or two.
Okay.
So the call is *799 *90 hash *799 *90 hash. Play as many times you can play. Like I said,
all right.
Giving out 20,000 today.
Okay, let me go to Nima now. Kevin DJ Mantari is on this line. He's one of the guys who is accompanying the remains of Prince Johnson. Kevin, I'm hearing the battle crowd behind there. What's happening there? Where are you now?
John Griffith, I'm going to say good afternoon and good afternoon to the people of Liberia, and thank you for the opportunity. I just put aside to just give you one or two interviews and go back. The place is very charged. We are currently at the Baila.
All right,
Baila is the boundary between Bon County and Nima County.
Okay.
So schools of Zimbabweans and Maros, sympathizers have converged here. It's unprecedented. Jala, if I can say, beyond here today is a manifestation of what the Johnson have done, but the people in last I can't believe my eyes. He's staying here to Bila where the bridge is going up to Scopa with a seas of human being here. And
wow.
Here is an emotional time for me. Yeah, we expect us to sleep today. Nima Kante, and tomorrow we'll keep out to come. I think my that big round for the big cities across market, and on Saturday morning for Saturday we'll come Gompa, that is capital, and we'll sleep. Let's sleep here in Gompa for the official ceremony, and the old man will be laid to rest.
What is the thoughts coming from the Nimayans, and what was the last interaction with the late Prince Johnson?
My last interaction with Senator Johnson was via phone when he called to ask me whether I was coming for the last program. As you might be aware, he had an last program in honor of I think the former president of Togo. Mm-hmm. So he expected me to come for the program. So he called me, "Oh, Kelvin, when you coming?" So I was just killing. I said, and actually I was not planning to go for the trip. Or I said, "Oh, I'll come tonight." He said, "My man, young people, and he was last minute to thank Senator Johnson was this kind of careful person, even to stay out night time. No, after work 6 o'clock, Senator Johnson by 5:30, he rushing home. He was careful with what he eat. He was the kind of person very, very careful. I think Senator Johnson, he was extraordinary. If I can describe him, there's a man who when he go to bed, he come back and he will tell you what life is, what the outcome when you do this. So we were very careful. If yes, another young person have some discussion about the old man when you.
Go ahead, Kevin. Oh, I think the network is having some issues. Yeah, so now, Kevin, I see a display of traditional dances in Nima. I see Mr. Sam Koga giving the war dance and all of those. Do we expect more of that in Nima this afternoon? I think Kevin left the line, but we'll try to call back maybe on the regular line because we're calling on the. So call me now on 0770 907 907. That number is for the people in Monrovia. The numbers for the counties: Bon, Nima, Grand Bassa, Magibby, 0773 419 502, 0555 184 711, and the female line is 0773 978 564. If you don't mind, just put the number on your phone. You can have it there. Every time you come, you can just call. You have to dial again. Let me welcome Mr. Bwaka PM Tamino. Good morning from my end, the Nation 70J. Thanks for the informative program, he says. Kevin is back on the line again. Kevin, I was asking, I saw a lot of display of traditional dances.
Interrupted because of the network too. You were saying?
I said I saw a lot of traditional dances being displayed, one by Samuel Koga. Do we expect more of those dances in Nima for the rest of the week?
That's what happening here. Jala, if you were here, you see you to exhibit exactly what the person are like, who the person was, who that person was. Senator John was out here in favor. He was a warrior. He deal would say he could He was a warrior. He was a warrior. He was born as a warrior, and Senator Johnson died as a warrior. Senator Johnson, this is a man who was fearless. He was fearless. If you come to Senator Johnson, even in the political arena, you ask him for support. If you don't want to support him, if you make that conclusion, he don't want you. If you come to a gate, he will not want to even have discussion with you. And to skip on you. Many people used to say, oh, Senator Johnson, he was not consistent. But there's a man that he will be having conversation with you. But when it comes to certain decision, when he made that decision, he will be clear to you. And I think those are the rules and the attributes.
Do you think that Nima County is one of the biggest counties in Liberia, will have a political leader that will untie the sandals of Prince Johnson?
And we from Nima, we know our leader, Jara. Our leader has emerged, but it's not me to say on this interview at this time who is the leader. Jara, have you wondered why the last campaign, Senator Johnson, he went in 4 towns and villages across Nima campaigning for Jeremiah Kuhn. At one point, I can remember he raised his own campaign or an election on the principal street of Ganta, telling the people of Ganta, I beg you, if you can vote for me, if even you can vote for me, but vote for our son Jeremiah Kuhn and Joseph Yuman Buaka. Have you wondered why? Some of us who are very closer to him, when we go in some of the campaign rally or the trial, he will pack aside and say, Kelvin, call Jeremiah Kuhn, let him be in front, I will be behind. Have you wondered why the kind of episode were going on? But it's not me to say at this time, in an emotional time, to tell our audience who that leader is. Because if you follow the history of the country, the history of our country, our leader has always been groomed and he has emerged.
All right, thank you, Kevin.
It's never been by coincidence.
Kevin, thanks a million. Thanks a million tomorrow. Go ahead.
And who that person is, you will see that person physically, and that person will physically be seen after the processes, after the funeral. Our leader has emerged, and I think he played a transition. This is what he was a great man. We appreciate what he did for the country for the last 4 decades. There's a man that left living. He chose who to preach on his funeral. That is Bishop-elect Bakampe. All right.
While he was living, he chose a preacher man.
Yeah, he chose a preacher man. That is the Bishop-elect Bakampe to preach a funeral, and he chose where to be buried.
So meaning the old man knew that he was going to die at this particular time, and I saw a video where he was talking about his time is over, he'll be going, and then he was
shared that video.
Yeah, I saw it from your page.
You get it right. I shared that video. That was 1 year ago when he made that comment. He said, "I'm about to go." Those are painful things. People don't love to talk about. Those are reality. Our leaders will come and leaders will go. And our leaders should know that when they are going away, there should be somebody you should grow that should replace you. And this is what Senator Johnson did. He had a political party. That political party, he turned it over to young people like us. We came on board. So I think Senator Johnson, he played a transition, and we have come Nima to give him a final farewell. He was our father. He was Senator Johnson, you fought for the people of Nima.
Thank you, Kevin. Tomorrow I will give you a call again, maybe on the regular line, while you are in Sanukoli or you are in Barnes, we will have some conversation.
Oh, thank you, Dala. I'm always excited to be on your platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin DJ Matari is a handmaiden from Senator Prince Johnson, the late. He's one of the guys who stood by this old man for years. I will take a few calls. My guest, the political reverend David Kemun, is here as my guest. 770-773-419-502 05551847111. Let me welcome Mr. Fode M. Nyang, watching from Crankeman County. He says, Emmanuel Bro, Jala, my fellow viewers, on this Wednesday, January 15, 2025, I'm seated and watching today's edition of the show from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the USA. While David has joined us from somewhere around Waterside Market. Alaji Dawa is joining us as well. Let me take a few calls, at least 4 calls, and call it a quit on this topic. And we'll go to our Reverend. Hello, welcome.
Good afternoon, Jana.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Thanks for the show. I'm David Harris, and I call from Texas.
All right, David.
Yeah, I listened to you, Jana. You talk about the establishment of the War Economic Crime Group. That they pay 180,000 given just for a month. So for me, I will ask the question: the office fee they occupy, how much are they paying on a yearly basis? How many staff does they have in their salary range? They have to be clear to the brand, they have to be accountable. So although we know that the government needs to provide more money for the War and Economic Crime Office, but then Councillor General Papu will have to make it clear to the public and ensure that he announces to the public what they need, how much for the office fee that they occupy, how many staff that they have. Thank you for the show, my people.
All right, thank you so very kindly. I can assure you that next week we'll try to find time to get Jala Babu here if he agrees to our invitation, if he agrees to that. Hello, welcome. Yeah, what about let's say you, brother, what's the name? Mike Beben, let's hear it quickly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you for calling for Grand Bassa. Let's take another call. Mike Bemini, the man who calls from Buchanan from Grand Bassa County. Welcome to the next caller. David King, you on this line.
Thank you. Good afternoon, my brother.
David King, let's hear it quickly.
Jana, Senator Johnson lived his life. I think it's about time that people honor him, give him that respect, doing his own going. But here's the issue. I have called with the vice president yesterday for your big tribute to the senator. I think some of the things I said really, where he said, if the president,
I'm here, you're beginning crying behind you.
If you even you get family, and you call Senator Johnson to come for it, you will come for it. And Senator Johnson, for somebody who are very much.
Yes, so the vice president has said it's going to say your own and lead the other one.
So I believe when you go to pay tribute for someone who obey you, you don't deliberate the person. If you have issue with the person, during the time of death, a general human say, I have serious beef. God based on it happened to me. You can't have a funeral. You will not say the bad thing that we did, but you always feel good of me. But so as an affront to the senator and his family, what the vice president said yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
The vice president who political motive that you are seeking for.
Thank you.
You will not become president for this country.
Thank you, David King. Let me take three calls now, and we'll go to our discussion with the Reverend David Kemu, political leader of the DPPL. Hello, welcome. Good afternoon. Who's in Kew there? Who's in? Let's hear you. Mm-hmm.
There was a point in time when President Blanca appointed Councillor Jala.
Mm-hmm.
Civil society groupings, the media, I can recall many talk show hosts, media personality criticize and critique the president for such appointment. Even
you think did they question Jala Babu's credibility?
No, I'm saying Jala Babu massacre.
Yeah, massacre, yeah. Because what happened was that they said he provided legal representation for some war criminals before. So if they are pointing to the war criminals, he'll be compromised.
Of course. So, as you recall, Hassan Benitez, who's one of the lead campaigners of the World Class Code office, civil society organization criticized the president appointment. Being a listening person, he said, okay, fine. So this court is not a presidential court, it's a Liberian people court. So he withdraw the appointment of Councilor Martha Quay. Now what he did, he started a team comprising of civil society organization, members of the media, and international partners to do a vetting process. They vetted and brought the name Councilor Jala Babu, and the president appointed Councilor Jala Babu. So I think he was just there, being a listening person to take recommendations for those who have much interest in the establishment of the court.
Now, so let me hear you. You are a supporter of this government. And if the president is appointing a man who is named in the TRC report as one of the worst perpetrators of crimes in this country economically, don't you think it undermines the war crimes of the man like Louis Brown, whose name is in the TRC report in capital letters?
Yeah, so people are there, right? The vetting process was done by asking level-minded people who understand, the in-depth analysis of those things. The president, this is why he started a committee. So if we think the names coming out of those allegations coming up are reasonable enough, we should be calling on those who did the vetting process as to question them. How they came about these names submitted to the president's office. They're
Okay.
asking the president for such, answers.
Thank you, Hussein. No, Hussein, no time, Hussein. No time, we gotta go to our guest.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hussein. The Reverend Dave Kemu is here. Let me introduce this one. Let me play this one as I introduce my guest. It's called Stroking.
When I start making love, I don't just make love, I be stroking. That's what I be doing. I be stroking. I stroke it to the east, I stroke it to the west, I stroke it to the left. I be stroking.
And this song is not for the Reverend, no.
Hey, do you
The
like
Reverend Stroke on a different note.
while you watch the late show? Have you ever made love on a couch? Well, I'm asking this. Have you ever I made love on the backseat of a car. And the police came and shined his light on me and smoking. Smoking. I smoking. He's smoking. Smoking. I've been smoking. How long has it been since you made love?
Yeah, 14 year welcome. Alright, Monarchy, Bologon, welcome.
Yes.
Say your man, Gabo, welcome from the Pueblo Road. He says, good afternoon, Jala Grayfield, and my mother, Man Lawo of Pueblo Road. Hilton Willa Jero, welcome.
Yeah. Or maybe it might be that you plan on making love tonight. But just remember, when you start making love, you make it hard, soft, short, and stroking.
Oh, yeah, Stroking, man. We can go on with that. We'll say play that song later. But there's a news coming in from South Korea. I was listening to the BBC while driving to town, and that the president of South Korea was impeached and he's been arrested. And I'm thinking, I said, wow, the Democrats of that country is strong. That the man who is a president is impeached, and thereafter his home is surrounded, or where he was surrounded. And I just going to Google to find out what it said. Yoon Suk, you follow that, Reverend?
It's on investigation. Yeah, I watched that on CNN.
Yeah, Yoon Suk Yeol has become South Korea's first sitting president to be arrested after investigators scaled barricades and cut through barbed wire to take him into custody. Wow. 64 years old man. This is strong democracy. Reverend, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jala. Whoa, it's been a long time.
Yeah, the last interaction we had was at LBS.
Yep.
During the campaign period when you were also campaigning for your party. But how have you been?
Well, it's really been great. I kind of took some time off to just relax and
After 1 year.
yeah, recollect and get ready for work again, both political, spiritual, family, and all of that. Yeah.
Welcome again. Komalake, welcome, my brother. Please tell my mom, Gamen Sumo, hello, yeah. Okay, scope out that. The woman always passes by my house. George Nyanti, welcome. Christian Sedbe, welcome. I can't read your comments because I'll have our guests now. We'll read them later. But Reverend, you've been quiet for some time, but you came in while we're discussing the demise of Prince Johnson. He was a religious leader also, like you. Politically, he was in, and everything you talk about politics he was in, and religiously he was in, just like you. What do you know much about him? Back how could you been in farewell?
Well, you know, life is a stage. You come on stage, you, according to the program, whatever is listed that you need to do, you do it. And when you're done, you leave the stage. So, in that light, the Honorable Prince Johnson, Reverend, we say sorry to the people of Nimba County and to his immediate family, but he played his part, and it's time for him to leave the stage. If you look at the history of Liberia, some of the things he did were not really good, but he also did some real great things, and for which he can be remembered. So we just say to the people of Nimba, have our condolences, our sympathy, and we wish him well, and goodbye. You know, his time is up.
His time is up. Now, Reverend, you've been seated for a year and watching the political field. Your party did not win the election, but you fielded candidates.
Yeah.
I guess some of them won in the election, some did not win. But you have sat for the while looking at the Buakai's administration. 1 year on, what could you say about the government in terms of governance, the rule of law, political tension, Capitol Hill, all of those, and everything? Let me just sit for a while. The 10 minutes I give it to you so you can have your thoughts on these matters. A critique of the government, one in the positive or the other way.
Thank you, Jala. This is a great opportunity. I've kind of been sitting and watching people and looking at situations in the country, looking at the way people are doing things. Of course, I supported the Joseph Boakai presidency. Finally, I gave him my support. Our party gave him support. And so we are a part of the government.
Okay.
So in that, like you say, that this government is somehow inclusive, because those of us from the Unity Party alliance parties, we do participate in government. My own critique, well, from a real positive perspective is that, and maybe this could be my summary statement, which I like to state right from the beginning, that Liberia is on the path towards national development. Liberia is a work in progress. We are headed the right direction. And credit for this direction in which we are headed as a nation cannot be given to one single government. And so sometimes when we talk about let's critique, the sitting government, it becomes a little difficult if you really want to be fair. Because what we see happening today did not just start happening. Take, for example, roads are being improved upon, roads are being built, some new ones, some old ones, but some of these things began when Mrs. Sirleaf was president. And when President Weah took over, he also did some work on roads to an extent. And what I see this government doing is improving or adding to foundations that were already laid. And this is a positive direction because that's how development takes place. Development is not an event, it's a process. So no one government can come and say, we take credit for where this country is today. All of the governments that existed before the Boakai government and together with the Boakai government do take credit for some, that's how I see it, for the developments that are going on. You talk about the water system in the country. It's beginning to pick up. And we say, well, thank God for the Boakai government. Water systems in Monrovia, Montserrat County, other parts of the country, they are picking up, and that's a positive sign. But previous governments before this government started some work. And so what this government is doing, in my view, is adding to what previous governments have done. If you also look at the Boakai government, there is some work done on electricity. Right now, you have electricity from the Cote d'Ivoire coming to Liberia. And I live at the Roberts International Airport around Disco Hill. We just began enjoying the electricity from the Liberia Electricity Corporation. If you were to visit District number 1 in Grand Bassa County, the Liberia Electricity Corporation has extended electricity to the citizens. But all of these works that are going on, I like to say again, they are not works exclusively done by one government, but other governments came, they laid some foundation, and this government is building upon that foundation. Today, in Grand Bassa County, this government is presenting a national development plan or a national development agenda. And some, I haven't read through the entire document yet, but again, this is a step in the right direction because development has to be thought through, development has to be planned, development has to be done in stages so that the Boakai government has developed the national development plan that's presented today to the people of Liberia is a sign that the country is headed in the right direction, and we need to tell them thank you. We need to applaud this government. But again, I like to say all of the developments, whether it's water, whether it's electricity, whether it's roads, whether it's in the education or health sector that we see today, you can't attribute all of these developments to the action of one government. If we have to be fair, other governments laid the foundation, And now we're going to build upon that foundation. And this government is building upon the foundation that has been laid by other governments. Now that we will be presented with a national development plan today, my prayer is that the House of Representatives and Senators, the legislatures, will take ownership of that national development plan and hold this government and subsequent governments to fulfilling aspects of that plan. Because it's not going to be realistic to say that the Joe Buckeye-led government is going to fulfill all of the plans that we have in that development plan. It's not just going to happen. It can't happen in 6 years. He's gone 1 year already. It's not going to happen in 5 years. So here's my suggestion. Moving forward, we need to own, the legislatures need to own that document. The Liberian people need to own the document. And then we get united around development in this country, irrespective of what party you come from. Whether you are Unity Party, Liberty Party, CDC, Liberty, what DPPL, MDP, whatever party you come from, there has to be something that will unite us as a country. For now, my suggestion is that we get united around a development plan.
Okay, thank you for your TC comments, Reverend David Cameron. But you talk about political inclusion.
Yeah.
One may say the Honorable David Cameron is making and giving all these accolades to the Buckeye government because he supported Buckeye maybe in the second round, and maybe people from his party have been appointed in government. That's why he's saying this. And on a larger scale, do you think in terms of opposition inclusion, this government has done well?
This government could do a lot more better than what it's done. What we've seen so far is that opposition political parties that supported this government, of course, this government has been inclusive, and we do have some opposition people working in government.
How many are they?
My party is one of those whose chairperson works in this government.
Do you care to call the name of the individual?
Anthony Dixon Tamba.
Okay, are they immigration
Tamba
people?
is at immigration.
That's one of the principal.
Yeah, and he's an opposition. But because we supported this government, we knew that this government could deliver, and we supported them. They have been inclusive. So you talk about Honorable Konto Sega at the National Disaster Commission, comes from the DPPL. I mean, we could name people, here and there, but so the point is that the government is beginning to become inclusive, and it shows that we are on the right trajectory, and we need to continue. We can only encourage this government and other opposition parties that may not have supported this government. I think very well that if we all agree that we will be united around development, other opposition parties that have technical people, that have professional people, their names could be suggested to the government, and when vetted, I'm very sure that this government, President Buakai and his team, will be open to bringing on board Liberians, irrespective of what parties they come from, who are qualified and have what it takes to be a part of leading development in our country.
Now, you talk about inclusion. I heard you talk about your party and those who are making representation in the government. But on a larger scale, one may argue that much has been done to include opposition in the ruling Unity Party. They were the ANC, one of the principal parties, the CDC, one of them, but not major names from these parties have surfaced in the Buakai government.
But it's not unique to this government. if you look at other governments in the past, you can say the same thing. When CDC, led the country, how many persons from prominent opposition parties like Liberty Party, Unity Party participated in the government. So we don't want to go that route, okay? I encourage us not to go that route, but this government has an obligation to show that there is a better way to do it. So just because CDC didn't do it doesn't mean that you can do it.
So there's still room for improvement on that.
So
because I wanted to name some individuals
yes.
who were left, who were brought on board the Joshua government when he took over.
Okay.
But those listening will make that correction.
Yeah, no problem.
I didn't want to be the one doing it because I know a few of them.
That's what I'm saying. We need to be united around the new national development plan that's going to be presented to the nation today in Buchanan. So CDC does have qualified, capable people. The other political parties, some have been maybe dissolved or all parties do have qualified people. Okay, all parties do have qualified people, and we need to be able to include everybody for national development's sake. Let our development agenda unite us as Liberians.
Okay, that's a good one. But let's go to the rule of law. Just in a matter of weeks, a week or so, His Excellency Ambassador Boakai will be addressing the nation at the legislature. The legislature is heavily divided. I mean, the lower house. Yeah. There being a political hula ballo there, fighting for supremacy house who becomes speaker. The speaker, Mr. Kofa, is saying he's been threatened to be removed, and that is a fight. We saw it here. They're being at each other's throat. Even though last week or this week they came together, joining hands again. And what they're saying from the outside is that the executive supports the removal of the speaker, which undercuts the government agenda on the rule of law, which is under ours in its rescue mission. What could you say about that and the fight on Capitol Hill?
Here's what I have to say about. I just said right now that irrespective of what political parties we come from, we need to be united around a development agenda. Every political party does have technicians, qualified people who can contribute to every public sector in this country. So now, President Boakai, being an elderly statesman, has started taking some steps, but we need to do more. That's the point I'm making. We need to do more. And the intention to do more is there. So what I like to say to other political parties, including the CDC and maybe other people who have, capable technicians, this country belongs to all of us. So all I need to say is, let's wait. Let's be patient. Coming to the legislators, they represent our country. They are the elderly people in this country. They are the brains in the country, so to speak. We respect them. It hasn't been very good, some of the things we've been hearing them. And sometimes when you hear some of the utterances from our elderly people, it's not really being encouraging. Again, this country is divided. It is incumbent on the Joseph Boakai-led government to take every step it needs to take to unite the country. The opposition parties will not be the ones to do that. This government has to take the step to bring us together. And I am saying one of the things that could bring us together is this national development plan that this government has put together that's going to be presented or is being presented to Liberia today. So what's wrong with this government calling all the opposition political parties and saying, this is our national development agenda. The House of Representatives, let's own the agenda, irrespective of what parties we come from. Let's come together. Let's bring our expertise together and see how we develop our country. And President Walker's government could say, I'm going to prioritize aspects of this national development, but I can't fulfill every aspect of the development plan. But we all know what we want to accomplish as a country. Wherever I stop, the next government will pick up from there. At least we have a blueprint to follow. It's not been that way before. So we thank this government for developing a national development plan, not just for a political party, but it is a national development agenda. So instead of us being divided, let this agenda bring us together. And this government has the responsibility to look within every political party, to look within every county in this country and find the technicians that can make the development plan work. It's possible.
Now, the question is, how long will we be having all these developmental plans? From the Taylor time, we heard about the Vision 2024. It didn't materialize much, and nothing much happened. He was removed from power. Ellen Kim, we saw the another program, and George Weah-Kim, we saw the PAPD, and
Yes.
rescue missions come with its own agenda.
Okay.
Why can't we have a national agenda?
Very good.
That if the government comes and go, that same agenda remains, and they build upon it.
But that's the point I'm making, Jala. You see, this government, their agenda was the arrest, ARREST, I think. George Weah had
And it was a PAPD.
the PAPD, the Propo agenda.
Yeah, Propo agenda.
But none of them has been called a national development plan before.
And do you think this one that is now being
Yes.
formulated will
Yes.
remain?
Yes.
And if another person comes, he or she will not bypass it or
Look, you see-
touch it into the dustbin.
That's why I am here and I'm saying after this document is passed over to Liberia, for this document to become a national document, it has to be owned by the legislatures in this country, our House of Representatives and our senators must take this document and own it and hold subsequent governments accountable to fulfill aspects of the development plan. We can't have every political party coming with their own agenda. When they are no longer in power, then that agenda is thrown out. Another government comes, then they develop their own agenda. We will not develop Liberia this way. So right now, besides the arrest agenda, what I hear this government calling this new document is not just a document, a plan for the Unity Party. They are calling it the National Development Plan. If it is a National Development Plan, and if that's going to be the name or the nomenclature, let's own the National Development Plan. Let the legislatures own the plan and hold subsequent governments accountable to fulfill aspects of the plan. My people, this country needs to have an agenda for development. Every political party can be developing their own agenda. So if other political parties say, well, we were not included in the development of this so-called national plan, then my question is, are you willing to give a hand? Are you willing to be a part of developing aspects of the plan and making some addition, and some subtraction? And this government has to be willing to do that. This government has to show that it's different from other governments. And moving forward, we all need to own this national document, and we get united around it. our counties get united around it, our political parties get united around it, and let us be united around developmental ideas. Our political parties are not based on ideas. They are not ideological in their running. So if there is a document that we can develop that's based on the ideas of development and developing aspects of our country, let's get united around the development idea. And who is in a better position to gather all of us if it is not President Joseph Boakai? He should be the one to take the lead, to unite this country around this national development agenda.
All right. His name is David Cameron. He is the political leader of the DPPL, the Democratic People's Party of Liberia. He's here giving his perspectives on so many issues here. Let me welcome Mr. George Nanti. Yes, I read your comments. Ruben Connor is joining me from somewhere in the Chicken Factory. John Kessler, good afternoon, boss. I'm following up from 12th Street Sinker. He says, J. Freeman, we said, Brother David, since you promised us our vocational school during the elections, we have not seen that happen in Grand Bassa County. He will respond to that. And that's what the platform is here for. But I'm getting information that the President, His Excellency Ambassador Boakai, has suspended the National Elections Commission chairperson, the Edda Brown last summer, for time indefinite. Details will come up, but I'm told there was a leak, letter of suspension, a leak from somewhere, but he has suspended the lady who has the Election Commission, David Edda Brown last summer. That's what we're getting. And more details will come up later if I have all the details coming in. Now, Reverend, as we move forward, the country seems to be divided politically, socially as well.
It doesn't seem to be divided. The country is divided.
We put back the broken pieces. I listened to Honorable Boakai when he took over, and he said, this country is not just for the green, it's for the both blue and the green.
Yeah.
Meaning for both parties who contested in the run of whatsoever was, Joseph Boakai and George, we are partisans, are all under one umbrella. But as a simple, he said, it's divided. How is it divided? And how do we reckon? How do we put out the broken pieces?
We all agree. Nobody needs to be hypocritical about this thing here. This country is divided. We divided on political lines. We divided on county lines. So many things just got this country divided. See what's happening in the House of Representatives. Shameful, very shameful. The House of Elders, see the way they address things. But again, that's politics, and democracy sometimes calls for those kinds of actions. So we need to be tolerant. Again, I said, this country is divided, but the responsibility is President Joseph Boakai's to unite us. He, as an elderly person, needs to be a twin mother and allow the babies to, to suck all the, both breasts. He needs to come up with a plan and an agenda to bring us together in this country. And I just said that this national development thing, this agenda that's developed and going to be presented to Liberians today in Buchanan, that document can unite us. We can put aside our political differences and say, hey, look, do we all agree that a paved road is supposed to leave from Grand Bassa County, Buchanan, passing through number 3 compound, Lac, and hitting Bong County and Nema County? Do we agree on something like that? Yes. If we do agree on something like that, that's a development plan, an agenda. If we agree on it, let's get united around it. If we say, okay, the hospitals that are in rural Liberia, we have a situation where medications we send there get sold by people, and so the clinics are always saying they don't have medicine. Now we've put in place a program to make sure that medicines don't walk away from these clinics. Do we agree we put a program together? I'm sure everybody in the country will say, yes, that's a development agenda. Let's get united around that, make sure it happens. Development can unite this country.
Let's look at the economy of the country. I will have to take a little break, and George will come in. And while I attend to somebody will come back in the studio. After you have addressed the economic situation of the country, then George will come in. But the economy of the country, how do you look at it? Many people are complaining that the country is getting difficult. Living conditions are getting harder by the day. The exchange rate is going up. The Liberian dollars is being devalued and SYC. That extreme poverty has hit the country on Joseph Jimambuakai. That's evidence of some conversation from street corners, survey being done by journalists here and there. What do you think is going on? How do we address the economic situation?
So the question is, are we better off today than we were 1 year ago?
What do you say?
Economically.
What do you say?
1 year ago, were we in a better position than than what we have today? I don't think so. So what's happening? It's happening around the world. It's happening in various parts in Africa. And that's why I said, if it's a development agenda or a development issue or a development item, no one government can take credit and say, I did this, our government did this. No, we cannot. Some of the things that we are seeing happening today, the foundations were laid by governments under other people like Mrs. Saliv, President George Weah, and other people. So, and this government is just building on these things. So economically, while it is true that bread and butter issues are a challenge to the country, it's not unique to Liberia. So instead of us Liberians sitting down and blaming a government, what we need to do is get ourselves to work and change the situation. That's why I come back to this issue of being united around a development plan for this country, because with a development plan, we are going to put people to work. People will be working. People will have things to do that will put money into the pockets. Right now, there are no jobs to do because development activities aren't going on. The moment we can adapt and hold onto these development activities, the development plan, they unite us. Some of these plans, for them to become a reality, will require people to work. Take, for example, the road from Banga to Lufa. If we all put effort to it, the road from Gunta to Grand Jide, and so on. Those are development activities that can provide jobs for people. What we need to do is to improve our economic situation. Let's get to work, because it is work that brings money. We are having a lot of challenges today financially is that people aren't working, and people don't have earnings, and they don't have earnings because they aren't working. So the sooner we can realize that work will improve our economic situation, the better it will be for this country. And so economically, we are not better off today than we were yesterday, but yesterday we were not even better off than we are today. So we can't play the blame game and blame what's happening in Liberia on a single government, because economically things are difficult and challenging around the world because of the different things that are happening, the wars that are happening. So we need to forget about those things, get ourselves to work, get united around development activities, and the country will move forward. That's how I see things. We Liberians need to get united around our national development agenda. in spite of our political differences or political affiliations. The moment we stop playing this game, this blame game, it's getting us nowhere. It's getting us nowhere. We've been complaining, oh, Turbo brought rice to $10 or $9. We complain. So even if we brought back a rice to 200 Liberian dollars, we will still complain. And the reason we keep complaining is we are not a working people. So let's get to work, my people. That's my suggestion. And this government, led by Honorable Joseph Nyuma Boakai, an experienced worker, you have to use your experience and open up the space so that every political party, every county, every district, every Liberian that has something to offer this country, irrespective of where they come from, can offer what they need to offer to our national development agenda. We don't have an option. Liberia needs to move forward. We can't keep looking back. We can't keep looking back and blaming people. No, we have to move forward. The way to move forward is get united around a national development plan. Let's take aspects of the development plan and do them in stages. I am looking forward to that document coming up so that we can look at it, decipher it, from page to page, and see how we can mobilize the country and recruit technicians, technical people with capabilities, and Liberians do have capabilities. There are people here who can make things happen. Monrovia is not Liberia. Once we adopt a development agenda like the one that's going to be presented today, and we unite ourselves around that agenda, fulfilling aspects of the agenda will take a lot of us from Monrovia to the rural parts of the country for education, for health, for agriculture, for road maintenance, for whatever it is. So this national development plan is going to unite us. I'm passionate about uniting around development and stop the politicking.
All right. Our guest this afternoon on Bits and Pieces, you're listening to him. He is Reverend David Kiamu. You're listening to him this afternoon. Probably you have questions, comments, or recommendation. We can hear you this afternoon on excuse me, on 0773 419 0773 419 better still 0555 184711 0773 419 or better still 0773 978564. Let's take our first call right here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's the name and from where you call? You join us from where?
SKD Boulevard.
From SKD Boulevard. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the discussion, but I for you said the CDC level, they were now appreciate compared to the government. No, like George, we have to vote as president. He treated everybody equally to the extent that even the opposition people, they serve a minister. The former agriculture minister, Jerry Cooper, the present council minister, he went. The only the one right now, he went. They make up the opposition people who work in the government. They tell people on the video today that so we are government on our it's not fair to the so let's stop doing the kind of thing the country they are revenue.
All right, thank you. The next caller is here. I'm sorry for the short break I took to research something quick. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you.
Hey, Mr. Jonathan, good afternoon, good evening.
Is that Mike Bemene again from Buchanan Grand Bassa County?
Thank you very much. much for your recognition.
Let's hear it quickly.
All right. Look, Mr. Bitz, I'm very proud but disappointed in your children guest.
So what you want to say? What you want to say now? Let's hear you. We don't have much time.
We respect the word because branding. But it is very important to kill the brand of the true one. We die in the moment and then to promote the people that study hard, then we get appointed in the
Why you telling us to do the three talking about, man? Bemini, thank you so very much, my friend and brother John Bemini. Thank you. Mr. Amos Rich Jones has joined us from the secondary area. The numbers are for the counties, those of you in Bong County, Nimba County, those of you in Buchanan, Bong, Nimba, and all of those counties that we are operating from Lofa. The numbers are there, 773-419-502, 555-184-711. And let me go to this line and pick this one quickly. Hello, welcome. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, brother.
Okay.
We are not criticizing, but it is also good to establish the fact. And the fact is this: everything this government criticized when it was in opposition, 1 year on, they came to power, they do the exact same thing they criticized. The issue of all budget spending, flying private jet, all of what they criticize, they are doing the exact same thing. So what we are saying here, although you're saying that we should ensure that we promote the government agenda as a national development plan. We agree. But you have to erect the necessary checkpoint before moving ahead. This government, it came on the basis of lies. So we should establish that fact. We thank you that you come out to ensure that we should reconcile and have a national agenda and move forward. Thanks for the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next caller is here. Welcome. Hello.
Yeah, I'm Lassana Dukle, calling from Lofa County, Bonjama.
Welcome, Mr. Lassana Dukle. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, our signal is being felt in Vanjaman beyond the foyer.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say it quickly.
So, for me, I like to applaud our studio guest because he's someone, actually, he never said any wrong thing. I've been monitoring him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this man, if at all we have 3 or 4 kind of him in this particular country, probably, then he could be one of the, leader in this country. But I listen to him, all what they're saying is around the unity. Building unity, doing everything possible so that our country can be united. And he keeps saying development. Does that go against anybody?
Okay.
I don't know how people can respond to the issue. For me, I like to applaud him. He did extremely well.
All right. Thank you so very kindly. The numbers are say here 055-184-711 for the guys in the counties, 0773-978-564 for the females. You can call me on those numbers. Hello, welcome. Each one will have now 30 seconds. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Yes, okay, no problem, Chief. That pretty good evening. Abraham,
Grandmaster County, welcome.
Okay. Let me say hello to you, okay, boy. We say ready. We are ready. The meaning of this thing said to the people as ready. But you're not saying the truth. The people of Liberia, they have a China, they came to power with all including anybody. For George Watson to power include many people want me more than 10% of your government are working for me. For the political party, for the party, for new party, for FPDB.
Hold the line. All right, thank you. You made a point. Let's take this next caller. Hello. Welcome. Mm-hmm. Mhm.
Or not get the rescue that we see some people is not right. Look at what's going on in the world, it's not respected. People catching people put in prison for something easily. And look. So is this why they call it rescue? Is this why they call it rescue? Joe, we going around making people to stop. Also, this is what pursuit who bear the rescue about look at things we're wrong in the government. So this is not fair. So let them try to bring something about mental would be or the good for we the citizens.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The next caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. 30 seconds.
Yeah, Romeo T is calling from Grand Pastor County, Hallelujah.
Okay, for the loop. Welcome for the loop.
Yeah, my man was here, man. The loop is okay.
Okay.
First of all, I tell you guys, thank you for the afternoon for the discussion on the topic. But first of all, what I'm going to say, the men and the guest speaker in our house today, the man is not saying the truth to us. Because first day, the king, all they say they are rescue team. And the king to rescue because we are suffering. The poverty lifestyle, he said to the young people, down to the old people, no job, they are striving for job, or this, that, all they want. And up to now, there is no job, nobody working. And up to now, even if they say not going, no money, you ever go down, come up, gasoline, go up, come up, rest, press up, nothing to buy. So, I don't know why they get said the rescue team. I don't know why it's for rescue. Because when you say you rescue somebody, which means that person are stranded, and everyone is said when he comes to rescue that person, he comes to think of that person, not even like person here. But now we are dying. We're dying slowly. No work. So, no, I'm thinking they are rescue. They are rescue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me to the next caller. Welcome. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, welcome, sir. You live. You on Voice of Liberia.
I want to applaud the studio guests for all they said.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend, thanks a lot. You human being, you can't able to please everybody. What you saw and you know of and you of your own view you are expressed is the correct thing. I love that statement. You are a reverend, you're not supposed to be biased. When you spoke straight to a point. So thanks a lot. I love the United Party government. I'm a United Party thing. Liberia, you say so we cannot please everybody. President GNB cannot do everything for Liberia. So what he's doing, we need to be supportive on him.
All right.
I love that, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. The next caller. Hello, welcome. Yeah, where do you call from? What's your name?
Yeah, this is Papa calling Grand Pastor incredible mistake.
Credible mistake.
Yeah.
Why credible mistake? Why?
Yeah, just the incredible mistake. Thank you for your program discussion. You see, for me, it already say that for me, I don't know anything because you see, there's that girl. Anyway, you get people there, just for the girl.
But the men ain't government. They may not government mail.
I know you're running, right? I know that man. You're running.
Yeah, you're running. You didn't keep Grand Pastor campaign for a party.
I know you're people in the country, the government for sure.
All right, thank you. The next caller, I'll take 3 more, then I'll call it a day. Hello, welcome. Good afternoon, welcome.
Hello, this is Amara M. Fofana.
Amara Fofana, where have you been all the years, my man? You just play your cool, my man. Let's hear you quickly, Amara.
I want to say thanks to your studio guest, specifically on a point that he struck that has to do with the national development agenda, which is very important. And it has been launched today, and I think it will be enacted, making it mandatory.
Okay.
Because most often when people or political parties introduce this agenda, when the political party reaches power, the agenda is fired immediately. And this is actually abnormal. It is not something progressive. You have a national agenda that will be brought regardless of political party, you have to implement it. That what we call a system. When there is a system, you can't begin the system will control the government, and not the government controlling the system. So once the system should be about the government, then the dedicated president, Joseph Mwabwaka, and his able lieutenants, who are actually helping him to deliver to the Liberia people. We know there are challenges, but again, we can reassure the Liberia people that certainly there is light gradually showing at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Fofana, thanks a lot. Let me take the final call and come back to my guest. Hello, welcome. Hello? Hello? All right, let me take this one from here. Hello, welcome. You're live. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. 30 seconds, no time.
Yeah, this is David King. Jana, I listened to the Reverend, but I believe he's a political member, so he will speak politically. With no disrespect to you, let him go. He did not speak, like a real man of God who is supposed to speak. But I know where you come from. Mr. Walker, I feel in a short period of time. Okay? There are things that Mr. Walker told us that he was going to do in 100 days, it did not work. The rule of law he spoke about, one of the ironic we have seen Mr. Walker disrespecting the rule of law, the removal of the speaker. All right? That's one of the things that made our country to be very critical. Now the sooner is coming up. We're going to have two speakers. But we wait to see as to what are the rulings in the Supreme Court. That everything that was done, it was not done inconsistent with law, so it's ultra virus. We'll see as to whether Namco will extend the invitation.
All right. Thank you, David. The next caller, the last caller is here. Welcome. Hello. No. Can't give you second time, my friend. Other people have to talk. I will take one final call from the county. Mac Bemene no, Ponkade Fanders no. I want to come here again. You told your other people told their own. 0773419 I will give the final call to those in the counties. We are operating from Bong, Lofa, Magibi, Grand Bassa. Our signals have been filled in Nima and beyond as well. So call me. Let's take a final call from there. If you can be the last caller from the county, I will take you. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Okay. I'm Lasana Dukile again.
Lasana Dukile, I think I say, I'm going to give a second chance. Hello, welcome. Hello, caller. Hello. All right, so I think we'll call it a day. Lasana Dukile, I'm not taking that call again. You know, other people have a call. You can call, especially when we are running out of time. The Reverend, you listen to the callers and you listen to their views. How do you respond in 4 minutes?
I'd like to thank all of the people who called and appreciated what we said, and those who didn't appreciate what we said. That's not going to stop me from making the plea that I came to make and constantly will be making. Here's the point. We agree that this country is divided. You look at our House of Representatives, it tells you the country is divided. We divided on party lines. We divided in every way in this country. So the question is, can a country divided among itself stand and be a strong country? No. If the divisions remain, we will be weak as a country. So instead of blaming people for our weaknesses, let's appreciate developments that are going on in the country. Mrs. Salif government laid the foundation for some development initiatives. The government of President George Weah came and they also built upon some of those foundations, and they did some great things. They achieved wonderful things. Now they are out of office. President Joseph Boakar's government is in office. They are not laying foundations again. They are already just building upon what previous governments have done. Let's continue that way. Let's continue the development agenda that way. And my plea is that as a country, let's not allow our political parties to divide us. What we need to do is come together with a national development plan, one of which is going to be put up today by the Joseph Boakai-led government. if we are united around development, our radio stations are united around development, our civil society groups are united around development, different NGOs within the country are united around development, citizens are united around development. These development initiatives will provide jobs in the various counties. And the money that we say we don't have now, the moment we start participating in these development initiatives, money will come because money follows work. You don't keep sitting in Monrovia and talking and you expect money to come. So again, Jala, I want to appreciate you for this opportunity, giving me to make this call that we call for our country to be united, and it is incumbent upon this government to make sure that she invites the opposition and get everybody included in fulfilling different aspects of our national development agenda. And once we are united around this agenda for development, our country will make progress. I want to thank you for these opportunities.
The Reverend David G.B. Cameron has been my guest. He is a political leader of the Democratic People's Party of Liberia, DPPL, that supported Ambassador Joseph Boakai after he did not win the election, and he supported Boakai in the election. The cash giveaway is still here, *799 star. The select number 90, that's 90 plus hash. 200 LD gives you $20,000. Again, as I walk out, George Wei will be here to do the cash giveaway. And that's how going this afternoon. Let's get a bit of everyone as we cool off and leave. What I try to get my theme song.
Well, I'm asking this. Have you one time I made love on the backseat of a car, and the police shined his light on me and said, "Smoking."
So keep stroking, yeah? Keep stroking on a Wednesday afternoon. If you're stroking the backseat of a car, stroke there. But when a policeman shines his light on you, just tell him I'm stroking. My valued listener this afternoon is Mr. Joseph Blake
How long has it been?
of the Cloudtown City Parking.
Huh?
I cannot find my theme song, but I'm leaving you with this one. Join me tomorrow for the final presentation on my side. Then George Wei comes on Friday to do the rest of it. Have a good day. Remember Jala Graphic chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk, and now shall we fight. I've been in the nation 70 days. The people in Bon County call me nearly one took out. In Zewadama in Lofa County, my father's people call me a woman. I'm the son of a warrior. And the son of a warrior fears nothing to do wrong.
I've been smoking. The day you like to make love. Have you ever just before breakfast? Have you ever made love while you watch the late show? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever made love on a couch? Well, let me ask you this. Have you I remember one time I made love on the backseat of a car, and the police came and shined his light on me and said, "I'm smoking."